2 weeks, 4 couples, 1 epic challenge. It all comes down to tonight. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. It's Judgment Day. Over the past fortnight, they've learned that the way to win the Block NZ is through planning and organisation.
Hey, bro, I need a builder, bro. I need it urgently too.
What do you reckon?
In that gap there, you could have a big screen TV or something.
Having everything scheduled down to the last minute.
The place needs to be absolutely bone dry. Yeah, it's still quite wet, eh? That's pressure.
But when the conditions of your resource consent limit your truck movements...
If your tradies breach, they will be banned.
And when Auckland turns on one of the wettest winters on record.
I have had enough.
The moment you get behind, there is no way to catch up.
I can't see how we're going to finish at all.
As a freezing week 1 launched into a saturated week 2.
Guts it, man. There's no way to stop water coming in without a roof.
Sleeping under damp blankets on a damp bed is not fun.
The scheduled garage was nothing more than a pipe dream.
We're going to be forced to move the room completion deadline.
Getting the houses shrink wrapped would make the world of difference, making the worksite dry.
Nothing is wet. I can't believe it. I'm actually quite shocked.
So cue the high winds and another frustrating delay.
There is going to be so much work to do.
But then finally a break in the weather led to a chance for a sprint to the finish.
Tools done. Shelf done.
We'll join them for the final cram to Tools Down and witness some of the highest scores ever on the block.
It all starts now.
This is More FM with Sy and Gary. So nice of you to join us this morning. We've been talking about the block. I just wonder, mate, how would your marriage stand up, you reckon, under the pressures of that sort of show?
It's Judgment Day on the Block NZ.
We've just woken up today and we can tell we've got a lot to do.
For our 4 couples, their hard work boils down to the next couple of hours.
Nah, it's rubbish, honey. It's rubbish.
Yeah, I think because this is the first room, and I think everyone's probably in the same boat, they want to do something where the judges walk in and are impressed, you know.
The pressure is on, you know. I'm thinking, are we going to get this done? Why didn't we do this yesterday? You should have looked at it.
They worked through the night, and now every second of planning, preparation and execution counts.
We need to be really efficient on how we work and how much time we spend on every job.
Streetside at House 3, Alex and Corbin are being typically metronomic.
So we've got 2 hours to go.
Yeah.
What is left to do?
Okay, so we need an hour and a half for a really good clean-up.
Yeah.
They've decided to stop work and start cleaning an hour and a half before Tools Down.
We decided to set our own deadline for when we're going to finish the room. That just allows, I guess, a bit of a contingency as well if something goes wrong.
But things are looking a little glum at Joe and Damo's this morning. Their high hopes for this ambitious lighting system hang by a thread.
Joe goes to bed about 3 a.m. to have some sleep, and I stay up to do some cleaning. And while I'm cleaning out the garage, the power goes off again at 5 a.m.
Last night,
It's pack-up time.
Damo had to let his Sparkies go at Tools Down before they completed the job.
6 o'clock, that was it. So we've got no power.
I'm going to spend the night trying to get these lights going, and it's taking complete time out of everything else.
The lighting was meant to be their showstopper.
Ooh, the lights are going to go on. The lights are going to go on. No?
Same old problem for Damo this morning. And side foreman Peter Wolfkamp is the bearer of more bad news.
Okay, so it's a problem within this circuit, which makes it a problem for you and your Sparky for this room, and it doesn't relate to the main work. That's a mistake, and if you run out of time, then you run out of time.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's how it goes.
Unfortunately, Can't have tradies on the Saturday because it's block reveal day. Whoa, bloody hell. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, and now we're actually only hours away from reveal when we're back to where we were last night again.
And when things turn on the block, they can turn really sour. Especially when you've weathered 3 weeks of rain delays with very little sleep. It's fair to say Marie and James have been stuck on Struggle Street all week.
I am just really flustered about the racking unit. It's not assembling like the way we originally were told it was going to.
This is stupid. We're not putting this so we don't have time.
Marie doesn't normally swear that often, so it's quite surprising to hear her talking that way.
How did you want this?
Just put it together however you want.
James, you.
Me and James never swear at each other, and especially in that kind of situation. So for me to actually say those words really scared me at how I was letting the pressure take over what was going on. Oh. So it's 10 o'clock?
Okay, this is for
We're at the
dusting.
cleaning, eh?
Yep, clean. Hour and a half. Got to make it look like a show home.
I'm remembering.
Oh, God. With brush and shovel.
Back at House 4, Damo's made a last-ditch attempt to salvage their feature lighting.
I ring up the tradie on call and we talk over the issues around it. Then I power test it all and find another fault. I hope this works. Disconnect it and power's back on. Yes. I'm lucky I had some experience in it to sort of know where to start. I'll sweep the whole...
Some inexperience could cost them this challenge.
This guy again. As an apprentice electrician, I ain't got a what's going on with those lights, eh? Just doing my head in. Hey, maybe I'll go and be a builder or something.
Just 1 hour to go now, people. 1 hour.
Yeah, that 1 hour.
Yeah, that's all right. I think we're on track.
Quinn and Ben took a massive punt with their carpeted garage, and I'm keen to see what the judges think later.
The only thing I'm really worried about at the moment is just there being paint underneath this plastic wrap that we've got. Do you think the carpet man will be pleased?
Oh, yes. This looks so good.
We finished pulling it all off, and I actually can't believe that there isn't any paint on it. It was me and Ben painting. It was me masking, and there's no paint on the carpet. I'm so happy.
We've all experienced flat pack hell.
I don't even know how you want this to stand. Like, are you still putting a lawnmower under this?
But probably not under this kind of pressure.
This is not the time to ignore me, James.
I'm just trying to concentrate on what I'm doing, otherwise this thing's going to fall off the ceiling.
Something that does annoy me about James, or I guess frustrates me, is that he's very relaxed about everything he does. And it is actually a really good trait, but in times where you are pushed for time, and I know I'm working my butt off and I'm trying to get things done, and I see James just walking around with the drill in his hand, just having a look, hands on his hips, having a little think, and taking his time, that's frustrating the heck out of me.
There are a few essentials the teams must have. A clothes drying rack, a bear fridge, and bike, surfboard and fishing rod holders.
We're both so tired, and we know that we have to make a fishing rod holder. We were going to buy one, and we thought we've got heaps of time. We'll make one because it would look better, and, you know, we like DIY. Look, if this is a fishing rod, and that is in the wall...
Yeah. It does hold one, but it's not a fishing rod.
We're running around like headless chickens, biting each other's heads off.
You go back and do your stuff.
Well, you're just walking around in circles.
Yeah,
so
because I'm thinking. You go back and do your stuff. Someone's got to do it, otherwise no one will get anything done. Right. I've got to think like MacGyver and act like MacGyver.
We find some bits of architrave. Damo's chopping it up.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice choice.
He's throwing paint all over it, and he comes in with a sticky, pointy, proddy little thing that he starts screwing onto the wall. Like, that's rubbish, but anyway.
Looks like a rib cage.
On this evidence, there will be no MacGyver spin-off series. But at least he's ticked off another essential garage item.
You missed a couple of bits over here.
You just dropped it. Help me. Idiot.
Well, it's just, you can just hoover it up. It's dry.
5 minutes! It's 5 minutes now, can't panic!
How could that have blown?
Because
It's so annoying.
The power goes back on, and while we're doing that bit of clean, the light bulb blows.
We don't have another light bulb. These are new light bulbs. What is up?
We need a bulb. Go to the toilet and grab a bulb.
Which light bulb is it?
Just get anything. Any bulb you can find.
That's got a different type of bulb in it. Nah, it's not gonna work.
It was a really good idea to do our cleaning deadline at 10 a.m. It's really helped us, I think.
Pick this up. Scissors, do you know where they are?
I wouldn't have a clue.
Turn it back on, please. Quick.
No light bulb, honey. Try giving it a jiggle. Do you want me to help you? Ugh.
Minute 30, babe.
Okay.
You give me that for a sec, quick.
Ben.
Leave it, just leave it.
Oh, honey, look.
What?
Look at this big nothing. It looks terrible.
It doesn't look terrible.
It does. Real bad.
Whoa, it's cut my finger real bad.
Right, here we go, people. 5,
Don't touch anything.
4, 3, 2, 1. Tools down, everyone.
Oh my goodness.
All done.
Looks good.
Oh, well done, Joanna. Good one, honey. Well done.
It looks really pretty. Apart from a blown light bulb, it looks really pretty.
Tools down.
Mark calls tools down, and I think we both know it's not really the garage we wanted to put forward, because straight away there's not that hug or that excitement that we get, you know, we're just like, it's done.
Any beers?
Coming up, our judges deliver their verdict on the block's first room reveal of 2014.
It all starts now.
They've had 2 weeks of wind, rain, postponements, and a pregnancy. Time to see if their perseverance has paid off.
I'm not feeling too confident. Some things didn't turn out the way we really wanted them to.
I'm freezing cold, but I'm sweating, which is weird.
I think it's a sign of nervousness.
G'day, everyone.
Hey.
I've been waiting for this for some time, to tell you the truth. And we finally made it, didn't we?
Yeah.
What an epic this first room reveal has been. We had floods, we had hail, we had delays, and some of the most stressed out tradies I've seen on the block. But despite all that, you made it, you did an outstanding job, and you should be proud of yourselves. But there can be only one winning garage, can't there? And it's going to be very interesting to see who takes the early lead in this competition and who pockets the first $4,000 towards their budget from our mates at Kiwibank. So shall we have some feedback?
Yeah.
Our judges and sultans of style this year are Managing Director of Your Home and Garden magazine, Shelley Ferguson, and award-winning architect and interior designer, Mark Gascoigne. Let's hear what they have to say. Okay, we shall start, therefore, at House 1, Quinn and Ben. Our youngest couple, Ben and Quinn, are without doubt our Renault novices.
8 times brighter than what?
What?
A potato.
What?
For us to have something like this turn out, just stoked.
Quinn was off the pace early, and it's no wonder.
We're pregnant.
The hardest part for me has been the mornings and just trying not to be sick. Where's the...
They decided to remain on the block. But dealing with the daily grind began to rest squarely on Ben's shoulders.
Quinn's fast asleep.
The pressure, the build, and the baby was starting to tell when help came down from above. Their roof was one of the first to be delivered. While others abandoned ship around them, they were way ahead with their garage. That was until...
For the first time in block history, we're going to be forced to move the room completion deadline.
What? It's pretty annoying because we were really ahead of the game and we were definitely on track.
We would have finished and possibly been the only ones too.
But setbacks have been swept aside with their secret weapon, love.
You kind of look like Bono from U2.
I think it's Bono.
Oh, Bono. Is it?
They're hoping one bold change of tack will floor the judges.
Are you sure that it's not a big waste of money since we've already polished the floor?
I know. It is a big risk, but we're definitely willing to take it to separate us from the rest of the team.
I'm so sure it's going to win us the room, 100%, and they'll give us $4,000 anyway, so it's not going to blow our budget at all.
Okay, I hope we win. What we think the judges will be saying when they walk in is, wow, carpet.
It's a garage with atmosphere.
Yeah. First impressions was that it was a very plain garage. But that all changed when they opened the cupboard doors to reveal the pendant nook and they realised the garage did indeed have wow factor.
Yes.
Which was exactly what you were looking for, wasn't it?
That's what we wanted.
Interesting, when we first came in and the doors were all closed here, it felt a little bit sterile to me, but when you open this, you get this lovely reveal and nice touch with these pendant lights, the pine workbench here, and the fridge.
I think this garage will win buyers over. It's so comfortable and it's just like a whole nother room to add to your house. It's awesome.
Everything behind, so this is kind of for the hide the mess thing. I like that.
Kiwis are very much, they love their garages, but often the car stays outside and all the junk gets brought inside.
Isn't that amazing?
So I love the thought you can hide it.
Yeah, for the tidy Kiwi approach. And I really like these polished ground blocks. I think that's a really nice touch.
The worst thing that the judges could say at this point is that we should have kept the polished concrete underneath instead of the carpet.
They thought it was extremely well planned and the carpet made it perfect for the family buyers who you need to attract. So that's very positive.
Having had lots of kids' parties when they were younger on the garage floor, the carpet is really good. This needle plunge polyprop is good. You know, they can sit on it, they can trip over on it, and it's quite nice parking your car on carpet, I've got to say.
It's less jarring too. You tend to do a lot of work and a lot of DIY in the garage.
Yep.
Standing on concrete, straight through the joints.
Absolutely.
This is quite luxurious.
It's the only one with carpet. It's a good choice.
This big cupboard behind you, again, this would be a great thing for swallowing things. I could see all skis going in there, bike racks, fishing rods, all that big stuff that often it's just not accounted for in a garage.
They did have concerns, however, about the layout. With all the storage at the back, it may create difficulty if you have a long car.
One point here, though, it is reasonably shallow, so if you did have a big car here, or you had the bike rack on the back of the car, you might struggle to get it in here.
Overall, the carpet and the pendant workbench were the big hits.
When I think of a garage, to me, it's such a ripe opportunity to use the room as something else.
Yes.
And I feel like I'd be happy doing some homework here as a little home office.
Yeah, good light for working on whatever your hobby is.
The only thing I'm really worried about at the moment is just our cupboard handles and our drawers didn't all come complete. So I was mad rush this morning to get those.
Actual fishing rod storage, and I've just broken the handle.
Finishing touches.
Finishing touches. Fail.
Handles that come off in a judge's hand are big misses. There you go, I believe this belongs to you guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh dear.
But they've got the fishing rod.
They have got the fishing rod,
which
so
means
that
they meet the brief.
Advice for next week? Think about how you spend the money and don't waste time polishing concrete only to cover it up.
From what I can remember, we kind of wanted to spend about $5,000 and it seems to have doubled somehow. Oops.
Overall, I think they've done a great job.
I think so too. Yeah, I honestly can see, a young family in the area buying it and just loving this for the fact that if you've got a biggish family and you just want the kids to have somewhere to play on a wet day, which we've had a lot of recently, the kids could just have great fun in here.
But also a corporate couple who want a bit of style in their garage and a multi-purpose space ticks that box for them too.
It does. Yeah, well done.
If you come and talk to me in 10 years' time, I would say this is my ultimate garage.
Coming up,
Alex and Corbin.
Why should a garage not be a creative style statement?
It all starts now.
Ben and Quinn have impressed the judges with their bold choice to go with the carpet in the garage. Time to see if Alex and Corbin have that wow factor.
House 3, Alex and Corbin.
From the outset, our West Auckland Whiz Kids had a clear plan.
Beer fridge here.
Laundry right here. I might even do the gardening tools just down here.
They've been this year's early pace setters.
Oh, how...
We also have the trick up our sleeves. We have commissioned a company to come and polish the concrete floors.
It didn't take long for the secret to get out.
I'm going to polish the concrete floor.
For our wow factor, we're going to do a heavy grind on the concrete and bring up the stones and polish it off.
But for Alex and Corbin, keeping their inspirational floor dry turned into a nightmare. With their roof delayed by constant rain, they were hit by setback after setback.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's inside. This week was really hard, mainly because of the weather. It just really kicked us in the butt.
We're pretty sure that we're going to have to forfeit this room reveal. There's just no practical or possible way that we'll get this room done.
They were back on an even keel when the teams were given the time extension.
At least we've got a chance to win this room now.
Do you know what this reminds me of? That monster from Star Wars that...
Oh, Chewie.
This is Corbin rolling our first coat.
I think everyone else went to bed reasonably early, but we just wanted to get a head start.
The race to the finish threw up more than a few surprises.
My favourite thing about the garage is the drop-down clothes rack. The winch is up into the void, you bring it down.
Yay! Who has that in their garage?
When the judges first walk into our finished room, I hope that they are wowed with all the things there are in the room. I think it looks great, and I hope they do as well.
Oh, wow.
This is great. Hey, somebody that's actually got some styling going on in a garage.
I think we've considered the brief quite differently. Everyone else is taking the brief quite literally, maybe even creating man caves and stuff, which might fit the brief better than what we've done. It could be a disadvantage to us.
If I was a dude and I had to go to the dog box and it was the garage, I would be stoked to live in this room.
And it's not just blokey though. I mean, hey, look at this. Obviously, this has had a woman's touch, I think. Right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Are these the sort of gumboots that a guy would use?
My first impression of this garage, apart from wow, is that finally someone has given a feminine touch to what's usually a masculine room.
But no, it works for both. I mean, that shadow board there with those tools, this is the first staged garage I think I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of houses, and I think this is good.
First impressions was wow.
Wow.
Really?
I love the CNC cutout bicycle things. Obviously not real, but just these guys have really thought about it to the nth degree. They've staged the whole wall thing. This is actually beautifully done.
I love how it's got a Scandi feel.
Yeah.
And everything's so neat and tidy in the earthy, lovely pale wood colour palette. And I think that's been brought to life with the botanical touches as well.
Having said that, though, it's really practical because with pegboard, look, you can get everything on it. Just amazingly flexible.
It was extremely well planned and considered, and the use of height very clever. Layout was exceptional, and the use of the sidewalls meant the room still had length. It's going well, isn't it?
What?
You've got so many things in a garage when it comes to tools and building and DIY, so many things that need their own little space. And I like that their storage has the freedom. You could fill one drawer with jars, you could put boxes in there, you can organise it however you like. Also the bins and the heavy-duty plastic boxes. You're not scared to chuck them around and get them dirty and fill them full of stuff, which is exactly how a garage should be.
Really practical.
We think that the judges will really love the clothes rack because it's a bit of a unique thing that you wouldn't normally find in a garage, and the fact that it's automated is really unique.
I think there's something going on here, Shelley. Should we try this out, see what happens?
Oh, wow.
Okay, look at that.
Out of the way.
Hey, there's a good use of space. That's really clever.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
really clever. You could literally hang your washing up there, pull it up out of the way, into the warmer space, which you're going to get up there by heat from the car rising, and it's pulling your washing out of the way so the kids can't get tangled up. That's really clever.
They said you've managed to turn a traditional drab, underutilised space into something with designer wow factor.
It's just a garage. How can you make it that mind-blowing, eh?
You know, they do have cool, you know, fresh new ideas, but, you know, some people don't like that.
They've also thought about this decorative touch, just this masking the paint effect in the garage. It's not over the top, but yeah, it just works.
And this is what I mean. Why should a garage not be a creative style statement? It's the perfect place to be a bit creative and have some impact. And I love they've done this with the peg hooks and the touches of yellow.
Little touches of yellow here, picked up by the pendant over there, and even the rubbish bin.
And the flowers.
And the flowers. I mean, hey, these guys have actually thought it through really well.
Consistency with the styling.
This is pretty slick.
Congratulations, you guys. And they have some advice for next week, though. More of the same.
We could not believe the comments that they gave us. Actually, as Mark was saying each comment, we were like, but, and where's the but? And then was no but.
Coming up,
Marie and James.
Another one with a bit of thought in it.
It all starts now.
the judges have been blown away by Alex and Corbin's stylish, feature-laden garage. Let's see if Marie and James tick off those garage essentials.
On to house 2, Marie and James.
I was pretty surprised at how well me and James managed to cope. I think we were just living on adrenaline and living off the energy that our tradies had brought into the house. But as soon as they left, I hit the wall.
Our fire and ice couple have sure been battling the elements. So much time has been spent trying to keep the garage area dry and waiting for their roofing to arrive. Some poor planning hasn't helped. With a new polished garage floor downstairs, James chose to pull the plug upstairs.
Our room is flooded. It's coming down the sides of the wall. I was was so angry, and all these words were coming into my head for what I wanted to scream at him.
The waterworks didn't stop there.
Is you care so much about this house, and to see something potentially go wrong or damage the room reveal, yeah, it is quite upsetting.
They were left with no choice but to throw in the towel. But when the garage reveal deadline was postponed a week, they didn't grab their second chance. Their gamble to seal the floor early in the day cost a valuable 8 hours as they waited for it to dry.
Right now, I don't think they'll make it. It's game over.
Crushed by the weather, Marie's old crush rained on her parade.
A stick for rollers.
Oh! No. Never, ever, ever do I want to see you in anything other than safety boots. Ever.
I've had enough of Peter. He's always picking on me, I feel, so whatever.
But with their troubles mounting, their tradies rallied.
Oh my gosh, you guys are freaking incredible.
It was really our tradies who got us through this week. They've all been really awesome.
High five! I'm sorry, I'm getting really teary because they have helped us out a lot, and I hate this.
Okay.
Another one with a bit of thought in it.
First impressions was it has a very strong aesthetic, a good practical space with a strong colour palette.
It looks like a real man cave, I reckon.
It is very sleek, and I think it's a metro man cave because everything's nice and clean and it has order.
A nice feature of this garage for me is the shadow box tool storage.
Yeah, that appeals to my sort of man cave.
I think a lot of us, even women, I find myself pottering around in the garage doing DIY at home. It's nice to see where all your tools are rather than rummaging around in a drawer.
I hope we've got good feedback for our lighting, because that was one thing they did critique us on last time.
These wall sconces almost give a bit of light. It's probably not quite strong enough.
No, I was going to say not quite bright enough for fixing the broken thing you need for the school project.
And the lights were a bit gimmicky for a high-end house.
The only thing we probably are lacking in is that wow factor, you know, and it is just because of what we had to go through.
Interesting, this crane arrangement to lower the bike down. I guess you've got to do it carefully so you don't drop it, but yeah, it gets it out of the way.
I like that they've thought about the roof, which a lot of people haven't. The roof is quite an underutilised space. There's obviously not much you can use it for, but I really love the drying rack.
Yeah, now the drying rack I thought was interesting, not particularly big, but a nicer sort of aesthetic, I guess, than just the plain metal one. Also tall enough that you could hang tall things like sheets. So that was good. So they have made good use of the ceiling space.
It's that hidden storage, and that was definitely in the brief. It's not a dumping ground. It's a place where you can store things smartly, and we think we nailed that part.
The storage in the roof was a huge hit with them.
Did you see this?
Yes.
Isn't this good? I mean, okay, again, another one of my things about urban houses, we've all got stuff like suitcases that we need to put somewhere. What better place than to stick it in the garage room? So yeah, good thought.
But the amount of storage could have been better throughout, with better use made of the height.
One area I think they could have been stronger in is the storage.
Yeah.
You can obviously use this to put some things, but they could have utilised the whole height of the wall space so much more.
But having said that, you could still get the bikes and the lawnmower and that sort of stuff underneath it. And I did quite like the...
But there's nothing hidden.
No, you're right. In this particular garage, it's all exposed. Your only hidden storage is in here, so a bit more difficult to hide, you know, put the big things like the ski boots and the backpacks,
The kit set shelves were not assembled well.
It's going to eat away at me for a while because they don't quite look right.
I notice this one here, about ready to fall off. But I'd say that's a lack of time.
Yeah, I'm really bummed about it because we were relying on the Reckitt system to be a really clean and modern way to store in that garage, but it just wasn't working.
Some of the paint and joinery around the doors not quite finished.
I agree with you on the finishing, things like the grouting of the saw cuts in the garage floor.
Both judges thought it was a strong first effort, let down by a few finishing touches.
I love the feel of it. I think it's got quite a masculine kind of a robust kind of garage feel. I like the palette. I think the orange bike actually is a really nice touch, just as a contrast.
I think they've spray painted that themselves.
Yeah. I wonder if it was done deliberately to go with the rest of the carriage finish. Good attention to detail.
Yeah. Overall, I think they've done a good job.
It's tough competition this year. I guess based on the feedback we've heard from the judges, there were a few things that we left the room feeling like maybe we should have done this, maybe we should have done that.
Coming up,
Joe and Damo.
It's a clean, cool, industrial space.
It all starts now.
the judges loved Marie and James's roof store. Can Joe and Damo top it?
And finally, House 4, Joe and Damo.
When they haven't been mounting a Cape Crusade on the communal bathroom cleaning.
Oh no, obviously you still haven't sorted out your weird.
They've been packing in a whole lot of shopping.
I found this really cool silver paint. This is just an idea, and I don't know, I just wanted to know what you thought.
What is it?
It's like metallic. He looks pretty appalled, actually.
It's pretty jazzy, eh?
Is it a bit girly?
Well...
From glam cave to man cave, Damo soon had his party ready man space sorted.
Doing the old sprinkler in there, and the buyer's coming on sold.
They found some recycled wood for the ceiling to create a little man cave magic.
These beams are 4.3 metres long.
You're kidding?
No.
4.3!
Oh, that's great.
That is crazy.
More wood filed in. This time remove for Damo's bench top.
Whoever buys this house, it'll be a real good fixture for it. It looks wicked.
Yay, look! Looking cool!
They've balanced their budget blowouts by saving on labour.
Go into Joe and Damo's, look at the walls, sealer coats on, smooth. Beautiful job.
It hasn't been smooth sailing though when it comes to the balance of power.
Hang on, wait. Just let me step up first.
All right, okay.
Most of the time it's really, really fun, but we definitely have our moments.
See, I never get to make a decision. I never
You
get
told
to
me
say.
you wanted to keep it natural, and I think
Yeah, but you change your mind all the time.
okay, all right.
I thought I was indecisive, but I think Damo could actually be potentially as bad, if not worse.
You do whatever you want to do. I'll just sand it for you.
Some early indecision has cost them at crunch time.
The lights are going to go on. The lights are going to go on.
No.
No? Feeling quite devastated because the lighting in our garage is such a big part of it, and if the judges don't see it with the lights, I think it's not going to have the effect that we want at all.
Here we go. Nice.
I hope they're going to walk in and go, wow, there's some really cool key features in the room, and think, yeah, that there's some different stuff in there.
It's a clean, cool, industrial space.
It is clean and cool.
First impressions was that it was a standout space.
They've worked really well with texture, I think. They've put metallic on the cinder blocks, which is a nice touch.
Yep.
They've also got a slight linen texture to the cupboards, which again just adds another nice element.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's quite in keeping with the industrial theme, but that's a minor criticism.
It had been planned cleverly and was the best multi-use space on the block. This is good stuff.
Good stuff.
Just waiting for the butt.
Yeah.
We definitely see Joe and Damo as our biggest competition at the moment.
Also for kids, for me, it's really important in a garage to have safe storage, so things where doors can close. You've got lots of tools and things to hide away.
Yep.
And the movable, portable storage, I love this idea of
That's really good.
bench on casters. For me, a garage should be a multi-purpose space.
Absolutely.
It's a completely underutilised room in New Zealand, I think.
Yeah, it is.
And I think with this, you could draw it around. The kids could have a craft table. You could do your Christmas wrapping here. You could get your mates over and put your beers and chips on there.
Yep, absolutely. I find also when kids have got, when they're younger, art projects, put it on the garage floor, spread it out. Doesn't matter if they make a mess.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
Oh, I hope they understand our concept. We've actually created a living area, so I hope they see what we're trying to create without sort of judging it for not looking like a garage, really. Yeah.
Not only, Damo, was it a man cave, but it is also a family-friendly space and it's worth big marks at auction time, that sort of thing. Well done.
Yeah, so it could be a man cave. I see there's a fridge here, so that's good. A couple of bar stools, so, yep.
I think they've done a nice job technically. A garage is such a good place to put your alarm systems, your control panels, your fuse boxes, your plugs, and they seem to have thought that out quite well. There's quite a few strategically placed
You need
plugs
those
in the wall.
for vacuuming the car. You always need a power point in there, so they've thought of that.
That big piece of Remo is pretty special.
Bit of heritage.
This is nice. This for a party. I could just see this being, covered in pizza and beer for the adults and indestructible. And yeah, it'll just get nicer with age. So that's a really nice touch. And
The bench was a huge hit and the downlighting made it a practical space to work in.
We put a lot of effort into choosing lighting for our garage, and I just think that lighting does create a wow.
I think the lighting plan's been pretty well thought out.
except that the downlights here above the garage door when it's open, but that's a pretty common mistake people make.
Also, I'm hoping that these pendant lights are heavy enough to withstand wind blowing in. You often work in your garage with the door open, so hopefully there won't be any shattered pendant lights going on.
A couple of light bulbs going out, but you get that. What do you think about the colour, Shelley?
I like it. I really like it. I think white would have been quite stark with this concrete, so I like the fact they've warmed it up with a soft duck egg grey type colour. I think it works well with the wood tones.
Probably the ceiling would have to be the key difference, because everybody's got jib ceilings, so that's a real point of difference, isn't it?
Yeah, nice touch just putting the wood on the ceiling.
Overall? Thumbs up.
Good, I agree. Yeah, well done.
Overall, the judges had one word for your garage. Fantastic.
Wow, thank you.
We're back in the game. I think we've got a good chance to win this, but we haven't seen what everyone else has done, but we're happy that we can show them what we've done.
It all starts now.
Okay, time for the scores. We'll start with Shelley.
If we don't win, then our budget's going to be so tight because whoever comes first has an extra $4,000 per week. We've worked so hard to come back and say, we finished with a win. It would be amazing.
We definitely are in the game and I really want this prize.
No way.
Oh my gosh.
When I see that Alex and Colin have a 9, I lose a little bit of hope. Wow.
It's not bad, is it?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Quinn and Ben, okay, 7.5. What do you think of that?
It's not a 9.
You're right, it's not a 9. That is a heck of a good start, isn't it?
That's unbelievable.
Marie and James, 7 at the bottom. Do you think you can turn that down? Is that disappointing?
7 used to be my favourite number, but not at the moment.
It's only one half, okay? And John Damo, that's not bad, 8.
It's pretty good, pretty good.
Is that what you were expecting?
Yeah, an 8's good, but it's not a 9.
It's only one behind a 9. You're still all in the race. And of course now for mark scores. And you know the drill.
This is our first time being judged for our actual house, so yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking. As long as it's not less than 5.
Yeah, from the comments, it sounds like it's going to be very close.
Getting there. So the winners of the Garage Week and $4,000 from KiwiBank, with a complete and utter record when it comes to the first room reveal, Alex and Corbin.
Oh my gosh.
Mark turns around the scoreboard and I'm actually just so speechless.
Guys, that is an unbelievable total for the first room.
When Mark turned the board around, I felt a bit sick, to be honest. Completely surprised and shocked. There was no way that we thought we would ever win this room. 18 in the first week, we've got a lot to live up to.
I think we've had a higher total on the block before, but only by 1, but that is streets ahead of anything else at this early stage.
We don't know how we did that at all.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what to say.
Alex and Corbin are both really awesome people. They do say that they have no idea what they're doing all the time, which gets to me a wee bit, because if they're getting 9s and they don't know what they're doing, like, where are we?
I guess for the rest of you, you can see here that the standard has really been set for you, hasn't it? Quinn and Ben, 14.5. In the context of other series, that's actually a really good start. Marie and James, 13.5. Last this week, disappointed.
I don't do well with last place.
Well, it's up to you to make sure it doesn't happen again, isn't it?
It's motivation now.
Definitely not a nice feeling. It's not a feeling I'm comfortable with, so I do not want to sit in last place. We are not sitting in last place next week.
Joe and Damo, not a bad start either. You produced a good room. Look, all of you have produced good garages. It's just one couple here has produced an absolute ripper first up. Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
It feels great, but I'm just shocked. I actually don't even know how to deal with this information.
Next week.
If you think it's going to get any easier, then I think you're on the wrong TV show.
I give them their second room reveal.
Hi, everyone.
And for the first time ever, the teams get to judge each other's rooms.
Your fellow teammates scored you. Oh.
Will they play nice?
Ew. It was amazing.
Or will the knives come out?
I'm going to be very strategic.
What the hell? Oh, stuff it, eh? I want to win this. I want to take them out of the competition, eh?